It always gives me the ick. Wait, I am kind of like kicking my feet thinking about it. Is that kind of toxic of me? I don't know, maybe. We need to make this trope more gay. Nothing in this world will get me to DNF a book faster. Archive of Our Own ruined me. If you like this trope, I need you to seek help. Oh my god, I love it. YN moment. Don't psychoanalyze me, please. The girls that get it, get it. This trope and I have a complicated history. Hi guys, today we are tier ranking something I feel very passionate about, and that is romance book trope. I feel like every romance reader has very strong opinions on different tropes, and I want to give you mine, even though nobody asked. Tiers are pretty basic. I just have instant 5-star, which actually isn't true because I'm so stingy with my 5 stars, but that is like for my favorite tropes ever. I will read a book simply because it has that trope. And then kicking my feet, which are for tropes I really like but just aren't my all-time favorites. And then it's fine. That's for the tropes that are just fine. I don't hate them, but I wouldn't necessarily read a book just because of that trope, or I'm more picky with them. They're just not my favorite, and the book has to be really good for me to enjoy the trope. And then we have absolutely not, the bottom tier, which is just for the tropes that I personally don't like. I know everybody's so different, so no hate if my absolutely not tropes are some of your favorites. They're just not for me. Also, I'm pretty much positive that I am forgetting at least a few tropes. I tried to think of as many as I could, but I just know I'm probably forgetting some. First, we have a classic, Who Did This to You? I'm gonna be honest, I feel like I don't read this trope that much. I feel like this is more of a fantasy trope, and I don't read a ton of fantasy, but it still hits in a regular romance, and I do really like it. Wait, I am kind of like kicking my feet thinking about it. I'm gonna put it in kicking my feet because it's not an all-time favorite, but I am a little like when I think about it. Next, we have Drunken Confession. Let me tell you, I love when this happens. Again, I feel like not super common, but when it happens, it hits. Maybe it's problematic because they're drunk confessing their love. I don't know. I don't care. Drunk words are sober thoughts, and I think it's cute when characters like get drunk and they can't help themselves and they just have to tell the person that they like them. I think it's so cute. So I'm also gonna put this in kicking my feet. Mutual Pining. If you don't think I was on AO3 as a teenager, tag mutual pining every fanfic, you don't know me, because there is something so sweet about a mutual pining. Mutual pining, if you don't know, is basically just when both characters really like each other but they don't acknowledge it and they don't know the other person likes them, and so it can get very angsty, and I just love it so much. That's going in instant 5-star. I hate everyone in the world but you. Probably an unpopular opinion. Actually, I definitely know it's an unpopular opinion. I really don't like this trope that much. And it's because I feel like every time I try and read a book with this trope, the man is an asshole. Like, I don't like that. Like, you can hate everyone in the world but me, but you have to still be nice. Like, I don't like a jerk guy or someone who's like mean to everyone. It's one thing if it's like Grumpy Sunshine, which is also in here. That's different in my mind, because you can be grumpy and still be polite to the waitress. You know what I mean? But I hate everyone in the world but you. Just, it always gives me the ick because I just feel like the guy is not nice, and I don't like that. So I think we're gonna put it in absolutely not, even though that feels kind of harsh, but it's true. Slow burn. I love a slow burn. It's so satisfying to me when they don't even kiss until 95% of the way through the book. This is another trope where I feel like Archive of Our Own ruined me, because this was another one. Like a slow burn fanfic, 300,000 words, nothing will make you feel like how that makes you feel. Especially recently. I've been going through a slow burn phase because I just read like 3 Mariana Zapata books, and she is the queen of slow burn. This is definitely going in instant 5-star. Childhood friends to lovers is a trope I really like, but I feel like it has to be done right, and that's sometimes hard to do. I also feel like I haven't read a ton of books like this, and if I have, they're YA, which is fine. I love YA. I think that's also in here. So I like it, but it's not an all-time favorite, so I'm gonna put it in kicking my feet. Pregnancy trope. If you had asked me 6 months ago, I would have said absolutely not, literally hate it, accidental pregnancy, not for me, get it away from me. But I read 2 books recently that have kind of flipped me. I read Out on a Limb at the beginning of the year, and then I just read Reckless by Elsie Silver, and these are both accidental pregnancy trope, and I really liked both of them. I feel like I don't like when it's a romance book and then at the end there's randomly an accidental pregnancy, but I think if I know that it's accidental pregnancy going in and that's like the main plot and trope of the book, I actually kind of enjoy it. I am gonna put it in it's fine though, because again, it's very hit or miss, and I'm only recently warming up to the trope, but I do kind of like it. If you have any good recommendations, actually let me know, because I kind of want to read some more. Best friend's sibling. This I also feel like is an unpopular opinion, but I just don't really care. I definitely don't dislike it. I think it's a fun trope, but I wouldn't read a book just because it's best friend's sibling. I don't ever seek it out really, just like if it's there, cool, but if it's not, I'm not gonna miss it. And sort of a pet peeve I have with this trope is I feel like they always want you to think it's such high stakes. Oh my god, we can't be together because of my brother or my sister or whatever. And listen, I'm an only child, so I don't know, but it just never seems that serious to me. It just always feels so dramatic. And then at the end of the book, the sibling's like, I don't care, I love you both, I just want you to be happy. It's like, all right, you know, it's fine. We're gonna put it in it's fine. Insta love. Nothing in this world will get me to DNF a book faster than insta love. I hate it. This also honestly goes for insta lust or attraction, when they instantly love each other, or they instantly, I'm just like, oh my god, like she's so hot. I don't like that. You know, I'm a romantic. That's why I read these books, and I like in my fantasy for them to fall in love with each other's personalities before their looks. And obviously you can think someone's attractive when you first meet them, and there can be a little bit of a spark, but if it's too much, I just feel like it ruins it. I don't like when the relationship is built on just attraction and looks first, like more than their actual personalities and if they like each other and everything. So I'm gonna put it in absolutely not, because I truly do hate that, if we're being honest. Billionaire, another trope where I only like it if it's done a certain way, because again, the same reason why I don't like I hate everyone in the world but you, I feel like the billionaire trope also does this, where for some reason authors, they want to make the billionaire man specifically such an asshole. He's like a womanizer, he doesn't care about people's feelings, he's an asshole, he just cares about money, etc, etc. Why? I don't like that. I want my men to be nice. In my fantasy, like, my husband's not an asshole, you know what I mean? Like, why are we doing this? But if they're a nice billionaire, then I like it. For example, Wild Love I just read, he's a billionaire, very nice man. The Lauren Asher book, what's it called? Love Redesigned. Love that. He uses his billions of dollars to order her favorite sushi from 1,000 miles away. That I love. But when they're a jerk, I don't like it. So I'm gonna put it in, I don't know if I want to put it in Kicking My Feet or It's Fine. I'm gonna put it in Kicking My Feet, because I do like it. It's just hit or miss. Sports romance. This is another trope that has really grown on me in the past like year. I used to never read sports romances because I don't really like sports, so I didn't think I would be into sports romances, but honestly they hit. Like, I actually really like them. It's so weird. Will I watch an actual sporting event on TV? No, it's very rare, although I do love to go to a live sporting event and eat a hot dog and drink a beer. That I love. But I never watch sports on TV. You give me a sports movie, put on The Blind Side, I'm locked in. Even a sports documentary kind of hit. A sports romance, I'm locked in. Sure, I'll read about your baseball game, your football game, basketball. It's fun, and it's going in Kicking My Feet. Cheating trope. If you like this trope, I need you to seek help. I don't know what more to tell you. Again, to me, reading romance books, it's an escape. It's a fantasy. You know what I mean? Now, why would I want them to cheat on me in that scenario? I don't get it. And honestly, I've never read like a toxic romance. Maybe if I did and there was cheating, I would like it. I really don't think that's the case. But never say never, you know, maybe, but right now it's going in absolutely not. I'm taken. I didn't know how else to phrase this, but it's when you read a romance book and usually it's the main character. The main character is in a relationship and that's why they can't be together, if that makes sense. Like, a lot of times you read a romance book and they're engaged or they're dating, they're like on a break, whatever, and that's the reason why they can't get together with the love interest. And it's not necessarily cheating. Usually they break up due to like organic circumstances, like they're gonna break up anyway, or they're a jerk or whatever. And I tend to not be obsessed with this. Even if there's no actual cheating, it just feels so unnecessary a lot of the time and icky. The only time I don't mind it is if they break up right at the beginning of the book and it's like pre-book romance. So I'm gonna put it in It's Fine, because I don't hate it. It won't ruin a book for me. I just don't love it. Age gap. Honestly, some of you need help. I'm sorry. I think there's an appropriate way to do an age gap romance and there's an inappropriate way. If she's 18 and he's 55, I don't want it. If she's 28 and he's 34, that's not really an age gap. If he's 28 and he's 40, okay, I'll give it to you. That's fine. She's in her 20s, he's in her 30s, that's fine. If she's 17 and he's an immortal being, kind of weird. Sorry. Twilight, I'm looking at you. Don't come for me. I like Twilight. I am Team Edward, but I'm just saying, it is kind of weird. It is. So this is also going in It's Fine because some of you all are a little weird, but I've also read age gap romances that I did really like. Road trip. I feel like this is an underrated trope. I think a road trip book is really fun. I think it's because I also love just any sort of travel vacation type book, which is also in here, so I'll do that next. But I just think road trips are really fun, and I love forced proximity. Did I forget forced proximity? Okay, no, that's in here too. I'm getting ahead of myself. But it just is the perfect combination of forced proximity and travel. So I like it. I think it's fun. We're gonna put it in Kicking My Feet. Going off of that, we'll do travel slash vacation books. I'm a sucker for any book where they're going on a trip. It's not set in the place that they live. You know, whatever the scenario may be, they're not at home. I like it. They're on some sort of trip or at some sort of destination. I just think it's so much fun. And as someone who loves to travel, I just love reading about different places. So this is definitely one of my favorites. It's going in instant 5-star. And then since I brought it up, forced proximity. This is another one that will just have me gnawing at the bars of my iron enclosure. I love forced proximity so bad. Like, oh my god, I love it. It has never once not hit. I don't care what the scenario is, honestly. It always hits. It's so good. There is just something about it. They just could never get me to hate this trope. It's going in instant 5-star. I love an angsty romance. Again, this was me in high school typing in my AO3 tags. Angsty. As much as a fun, fluffy romance is a good time, and I do like those, at the end of the day, I prefer to have a little bit of angst. I want there to be something else, you know. It can't just all be sunshine and rainbows. I want at least one character going through it at some point. And this again is just one of those tropes that hits every time. It's going in instant 5-star. Bodyguard I like because it kind of has the same vibe of Who Did This to You. I do like a protective, specifically man. I feel like I did read The Bodyguard by Catherine Center, and she's the bodyguard, which was really fun. I liked that, but I feel like it specifically hits when it's a man. I don't know. If you have any sapphic bodyguard book recommendations, hit my line, because that is something I would love to read. But I love when it's like a man bodyguard and he's just protective, and it's so good. But I will say it's not something I really seek out a lot. I've read a few, but I don't think to myself like, oh, I really need to read another bodyguard romance. So I think I'm gonna put it in It's Fine because they're fun, but it's not something I gravitate towards all the time. One of Us Is Famous. I love this trope. I love a little YN moment. I love it to pretend I'm famous or somebody famous fell in love with me. It's the fangirl gene. If you get it, you get it. And so I do love a one of us or both of us are famous. That I think is also fun. And I feel like I've seen a lot of people say they don't like reading about famous people or actors or anything like that, but I think it's really fun. So I'm gonna put it in Kicking My Feet. Playboy trope, again, it goes along with I don't like when men are assholes. If it's a girl character, sure, do whatever you want. If it's a man, no. And I just feel like every male Playboy character is an asshole, and I've said it 500 times this video, I don't like that. So it's going in absolutely not. Love triangle. I like a love triangle. Is that kind of toxic of me? I don't know, maybe, but I like it. And sometimes they're not done that great, but I think when they are done right, it's so satisfying. Although, we need to normalize true love triangles where everyone is into each other. We need to make this trope more gay. Love triangles are always, I feel like, a girl and two guys. A lot of the time, what I read. Don't you want the boys to kiss too? I do. Sue me. I want them to have a little smooch too. They can be into each other too. What's wrong with that? This is something I feel very passionately about. We're gonna put it in Kicking My Feet. Reality TV, underrated trope in my opinion. I think it's so much fun. I've read a few of these, specifically The Charm Offensive I love. The True Love Experiment was really good. It kind of goes along with, not necessarily One of Us Is Famous, but I just like reading about actors and TV shows and that type of thing. So I like the reality TV trope. This is also gonna go in Kicking My Feet because I do really like it. Single parent. I love this trope. I've been plotting for like 6 months. I keep saying I need to do a single parent trope recommendation video because I read so many single parent books. Are my parents divorced? Yes. Don't psychoanalyze me, please. I love this trope. There is just something so wholesome and special about the romance, but also watching the character that doesn't have the kids or kid fall in love with the kid and them have their own relationship, and I just love it so much. And I feel like a lot of books that I really like have this trope, it's an easy instant 5-star. Everyone can see it. This is when the two characters are obviously down bad, head over heels for each other, and they don't see it, but everyone around them does, their friends and family or whatever. Oh, I love this. Kind of the sister to Mutual Pining. Just so good. I love when their friends are like, you're stupid. They obviously love you. What are you doing? And it's just so cute, especially like their family, if it's their parents or their siblings or whatever. It's just so cute. I love it. Gonna go and kicking my feet. Nanny trope, also a sister trope. The sister trope, I feel like, to single parent romances. So fun. This is another one. If you have recommendations, give them to me, because I really do think this is such a fun trope. The one that always comes to mind for me is Heartless by Elsie Silver. I love that book, and that's nanny trope. I'm gonna put it in kicking my feet. You know what I love about it too? Oh, or The Right Move from the Windy City series. Is that the one with the single dad? I think so, but I like it. I think so much because it's single parent trope with forced proximity, so it's just combining two of my favorite tropes. But I'm gonna put it in kicking my feet and not instant 5-star because I haven't read that many, but the ones I have read I really like. Marriage of Convenience. Oh wait, fake dating. Let me do fake dating first. I love fake dating. I am a fake dating enthusiast. Once again, it's going to hit every single time. It's so fun. I love the moment where you're reading a fake dating romance and it's the moment where they realize, oh, is this real? What's real? What's fake? It's so good. This is another trope where I feel like all of my favorite books are fake dating because it's just the best trope ever. If I see a book that's fake dating, instantly marked as want to read on Goodreads because I just love it so much. Definitely instant 5-star. Then again, moving on to Marriage of Convenience, again, combining two of my favorite tropes because of fake dating and forced proximity. So it's so fun. But to be honest, I don't know. I haven't really read a ton of these, and I feel like the ones I have read, at least that I can think of off the top of my head, were just okay. Maybe I need to read more of them because, again, like, the potential's there. I think it's a fun trope, but honestly, I can't think of any off the top of my head right now that I really love. So I think I'm gonna put it in It's Fine, which is kind of surprising, but maybe I need to just read some more and get to the good stuff. Second chance romances. The girls that get it, get it. I love a second chance romance because angst, and you get their original romance and their new romance, the rekindling. So it's like you get two stories in one, and I just love it. It's so good. I feel like all the ones that are my favorites, I don't even know how to describe, because you just know in your heart when a trope hits for you, and that's what these are for me. It just gives you like that special feeling. This is so dramatic. That special feeling, like the tropes you love, there's just something about them that you can't describe. Instant 5-star. The next two I'm gonna do together because they're sort of the same thing. It's Grumpy Sunshine and a Reverse Grumpy Sunshine. So normally if you're talking about a male-female romance, usually, I feel like typically, Grumpy Sunshine is the girl is sunshine and the guy is grumpy. Again, if you're reading like a gay or a sapphic romance, like this is gonna be different. But then on the other hand of that Reverse Grumpy Sunshine is when the girl is grumpy and the guy is the sunshine character. I really like both. I think Grumpy Sunshine is fun. The whole opposites attract aspect of it. I will say I think I prefer Reverse Grumpy Sunshine more than regular Grumpy Sunshine because in real life I think I would be the grumpy and the other person would be the sunshine because I don't think I'm that sunshiny of a person, which is fine. But I think that's why I like it so much, because I can just sort of relate more to that. But I don't know, I do love a regular Grumpy Sunshine too. I think I'm gonna put both of them in Kicking My Feet because I do like both of them, just different ways, you know? Workplace romance. And what if I told you every single person I've ever dated I met through work? Then what? Personal experience aside, I think this trope is okay. I like it, but I wouldn't necessarily read a book just because it's workplace romance, if that makes sense. I'm kind of just about it. It has to still be a good romance, you know? I think the forbidden aspect of it can be fun. Again, usually they have like forced proximity, so it's fun. It's just not something I seek out all the time, so I'm gonna put it in It's Fine. Enemies to Lovers. This trope and I have a complicated history. I like enemies to lovers, but I feel like something has been going on in the book world in the past few years, and that is every author thinks they have to make their couple enemies to lovers, and they don't. It's become such a pet peeve of mine when a book is marketed as it's gonna be like enemies to lovers, and then they're enemies for 2 chapters and then they're literally fine. It's just unnecessary. I don't feel like every couple needs to not get along at first. Do you hate every single person you meet? No. Sometimes you just meet people and you get along and that's fine. So again, I like enemies to lovers. I just feel like if you're gonna make an enemies to lovers, make an enemies to lovers. Don't make it a we had a small misunderstanding that we're gonna get over in the next 20 minutes and be totally fine. Just my opinion. Another trope where I feel like in fantasy it probably hits different. Actually, from the few fantasies I've read, it does hit different. I just, again, don't read a lot of fantasy, so I think I'm still gonna put it in kicking my feet, because when it's done right, I do really like it, and it does give you that like butterflies, you know, when they start to like each other after being enemies. It's fun. I just feel like it's an epidemic. Friends to lovers. I love a friends to lovers. I saw a TikTok once that ruined my life. It was like, if you like, this could actually also apply to enemies to lovers. It was like, if you like friends to lovers, it's because you don't feel like someone will fall in love with you unless they know everything about you, like even the bad part. Now, why would you write that? Now, why would you attack me personally like that? It just felt a little uncalled for, but it's kind of true. I love a good friends to lovers when they know each other so well and they just are so compatible, and just that build up of, oh no, they couldn't like me, like we're just friends, and then they fall in love. I just think it's really sweet, so it's gonna go in kicking my feet. Last but not least, maybe this isn't really a trope I should have put in here because it's so broad now that I think about it, but in my mind I was thinking of YA romances specifically, like kind of regardless of the other tropes they have in it, because I love a young adult romance. Yes, I'm 26 years old, but there is just something about a young adult romance that I love so much. The coming of age aspect, you know, where am I gonna go to college, or are we gonna go to prom together? It's just so fun. I don't know, I just like it a lot. The feeling of So High School by Taylor Swift, that's how I feel when I read a young adult romance, and they always just give me butterflies, and I think they're so cute. It's gonna be our last instant 5-star. That was so fun. I would love to know what your favorite tropes are if you want to comment them, just because people have such differing opinions on different tropes. I think it's so interesting. As always, I'll have all my other socials down below if you want to find me anywhere else.